Dr. Lisa here, and today I want to talk about fertility and detox. One of the questions that I get on a fairly regular basis from my patients is, should I do a detox or a cleanse or a flush to help improve my fertility? And my answer used to actually be a pretty categorical no, because most of the detoxes and flushes that my patients wanted to do were pretty harsh, intense processes where they would juice fast for days, or a week, or they would only drink, certain sorts of things or eat very limited things. And in that particular case, what happens is when you do a harsh detox is that it can actually decrease your fertility because it's throwing the body into a state of utter stress and depletion. But as I do research on an ongoing way in terms of how to help my patients, what I began to realize was not all detoxes are equal. And in particular, a liver detox might be something that would be helpful. And let me take you through the process of what the liver does and what detoxification looks like so that you can see why I changed my mind about this. So look, our bodies naturally detox. That's what happens when we have a bowel movement, when we urinate, or when we're sweating. Our body is getting rid of things that it doesn't need. In the case of sweating, it's usually heat. Although if you go to a sauna or a sweat lodge or something like that, there is more of a release of other detox agents from the skin. Pooping and peeing seems a little bit more natural. You eat food, you drink fluids, and you get rid of what it is that you don't need. In terms of the digestive system, the stomach breaks things down physically for the liver, and then the liver itself breaks things down chemically. And the liver produces multiple chemical molecules to do so. The process that your liver has for detoxing takes two stages. In phase one, you need to break whatever it is that needs to be metabolized by the liver. And these are usually things that you don't need, things that would be considered toxins in the body. You need to break it down into smaller sizes, and you need to make it water soluble, because the way that we get rid of things is through a fluid medium. Both stool and urine is made primarily of, water as the fluid content. So whatever toxins that we have need to be made water soluble in order to be able to be flushed out. Now, this process in phase one of liver detox can actually create oxidation, which are free radicals. And as you may know, free radicals are really not good for the body because they can damage DNA. It's a byproduct of the process of detoxing naturally. And these free radicals actually need to be cleared out by the liver. Phase two is when you are getting the toxins out, and that happens through your urine and your bowel movements. So the food that you eat as part of the detox process is actually important for two reasons. First of all, the food that you eat can actually clog up the liver detox pathways, in which case it is actively creating a problem because it keeps your liver from detoxing things. Or secondly, food provides the various building blocks that the liver needs in order to make the molecules for detoxification. And if you're not eating the kinds of food that supply these molecules, that's also a problem. So it's not just that food can be bad for detox, it can also be not contributing to detox in order to give your body what it needs to create detoxing molecules. So what do you need to do to keep your liver happy? Because your liver is the primary means by which we actually break down toxins in the body and get rid of them. Now, this is not an exhaustive list, and if you want to do some more research on your own, I highly recommend it, or talk to your alternative and natural practitioner to learn more about what it is that you can do to keep your liver happy. But, for example, in phase one, that breakdown phase, your body needs antioxidants to make sure that the free radicals that are created by the process of oxidizing the toxins aren't going to actually damage your body. It needs polyphenols, which are another form of antioxidants, to keep the metabolites from harming the cells. Common antioxidants are ACE, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E. NAC, also, the full name is N-acetylcysteine, is also a master molecule that turns into the master antioxidant molecule, which is glutathione. And you can get NAC from things like fruits and veggies. You need specific foods to help give your body these molecules that you need, which is why any food that's going to be high in vitamin A or vitamin C or vitamin E is going to be helpful for the detox process. You also need molecules that will help your body break down fats, because often, fats are used in a couple of different ways. First of all, fats are one of the ways that toxins can be packaged to be eliminated in stool. But fats in and of themselves, if you have a lot of them, also need to be broken down and metabolized. And molecules that can do this, can break down fats, are called lipotrophics. Inositol, which you may be familiar with if you do any research into PCOS, but everybody, as it turns out, needs inositol. And you can find inositol in fruits, beans, whole grains, and nuts. You need cysteine, like N-acetylcysteine, and you also need choline, which you can find most abundantly in meat, fish, dairy, and eggs. Yes, there are fruits and vegetables that have choline in them, but if you have somebody who has difficulty breaking things down, then you want to make sure that you're getting a good, rich source of choline. Bile, which is one of the products that your body makes in order to break down fats in the digestive system, is actually made from these lipotrophics. Now, that takes us through phase 1, where your body has actually metabolized these toxins and broken them up so that it can actually start to eliminate them. Phase 2 is the actual elimination phase. And the two main sources, or the two main ingredients for dealing with phase 2, are actually fiber and water. And if you think about it for a minute, that makes sense. How do you eliminate things that are liquid? You pee them out. So that's, urine, which is primarily made out of water, is one way. So you need to make sure that you're drinking enough water to allow urine to eliminate things. But you also need fiber, and fiber is used by your bowels in order to bulk things up, package them in a way that they're not going to cause any more damage. And that's one of the ways that you get rid of fats. If you have excess fats, your body will eliminate it through the stool. And fat and water don't mix, but fats can mix in with the stool so that you can eliminate it. Fiber is going to come from things like vegetables, whole grains, and the more fibrous fruits. You need water to clear this stuff out, or else you're basically sitting in your toxins. Some of the process of elimination in phase 2 for liver detox needs some specific amino acids. And what these do is they conjugate, which means they combine with the toxins and kind of escort them out of these various pathways. You also need sulfur molecules to help the body package these toxins to be eliminated. And you get sulfur molecules from things that, make you gassy. Things like broccoli, cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprouts, collard greens. The sulfur is a really important part of the conjugating, combining molecules that help package these toxins and get them out. So these are really critical food sources. As I talked about earlier, you have to eat the foods that also contribute the molecules that your body needs in order to detox appropriately. So let's talk about why this whole detox process is important for fertility. Well, my approach to fertility is to give the body what it needs in order to make what it needs to be fertile, and to help give your body what it needs in order to get rid of the things that it doesn't need. And fertility really is so dependent in terms of the balance of your hormones and making sure that the hormonal environment is appropriate. That if you have a lot of toxins sitting around in your system, then you need to get rid of them because it's going to throw off your fertility. So making sure that you have really clear liver detox pathways so you can get rid of the various toxins that we have surrounding us in our world is really important. In particular, when it comes to reproductive hormones, however, the liver metabolizes estrogen and helps clear it. So if you are eating things that clog up your liver, you may very well also be clogging up the detox pathways for estrogen. Now, estrogen dominance, and this becomes something called estrogen dominance, which you may or may not have heard of when you are looking around at fertility sites. But estrogen dominance is often what happens when a woman has endometriosis or PMS or fibroids. What it means is that the balance between estrogen and progesterone is off, and there's too much estrogen relative to the amount of progesterone. And the way you fix that is you clear out the excess estrogen, which is the step that we're talking about right now, and you also increase the progesterone, which is a step that hopefully I will address in a future video. But what we want to know is, how do you clear out excess estrogens? Now, it's important to understand, and this is the piece that changed my mind about the whole detox process. You may do blood tests, and your blood levels of estrogen may be within normal. And that has always been something that puzzled me for years, because what I couldn't figure out is, why does this patient have all these signs of estrogen dominance, like PMS or fibroids or endometriosis, when they don't actually have high estrogen? And the answer is estrogen metabolites. Remember, detoxification is a two-stage process where not only do things need to be broken down, but then they need to be eliminated. And the piece that I was missing was the part where the elimination pathway, phase 2, wasn't working appropriately. So the blood levels of the whole molecule of the estrogen look normal, but what we can't see is all of the estrogen metabolites that are floating around free, that don't get measured by standard blood tests of estrogen, that were making the body think that the estrogen levels were too high and reacting to those high levels. So working with my patients with phase 2 detoxification, so that their livers are detoxifying and breaking, the estrogen down, but then also eliminating appropriately, has really shifted things in my practice for many patients, because what it's doing is it's allowing us to rebalance the hormones, especially the estrogen, and get them where we need them to go. So if you are not giving your body the food that it needs in order to build the molecules to detoxify estrogen, it can't actually do phase 1 or phase 2 of the whole detox process. And that's why you wind up with imbalances or fertility, diagnoses, when the blood values look like they're more or less normal. So I have, as I stated, started using various detox protocols in my practice. And my patients are reporting that they feel a whole lot better, which makes me really happy, because I've put another piece of the puzzle of infertility into, and into my practice, and figured out ways to actually help my patients do better. One of the things that I'm doing is I'm having my patients use detox supplements during their period, because the body is actually flushing out the old to get ready for the new. In particular, the product that I like is Designs for Health Detoxification Support Packets. Remember when I talked earlier about the fact that you need to make sure that you're giving your body all of the things, the molecules that it needs in order to be able to have strong, healthy detox pathways? Well, the detox support packets actually supply the various amino acids and lipotrophics that the liver needs in order to do phase 1 support of the metabolization of the toxins. And it gives it, the molecules that you need for the conjugation and elimination in phase 2. I pretty much universally am now prescribing these detox support packets during the period for my patients, so that it helps them clear things out. If you're interested, you can check the description for the links to my website, which has links to my store, and you can take a look at what's actually in the detox support packets. Now, a word of caution here. You really want to support the body's natural detox pathways. You don't want to force the body into a hardcore detox. I'm still dead set against juice fasts and hardcore detoxes because in my clinical experience, the depletion that they cause in the body actually make it harder for me to help my patients to recover their fertility, meaning it takes longer because the body always shuts down fertility if it's being forced into a stressful situation. And the kind of physiologic stress that harsh detoxes create will actually decrease fertility. The idea in any detox protocol is to help your body do what it does naturally. Remember, our bodies are built to detox things. That's what our livers are for. So what you want to do is you want to go through the process of supporting natural liver detoxification with food and supplements that help the liver do what it does best and boost your natural balance. That is the only and best way to go, in my opinion. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll get back to them. I would like to ask everybody to please subscribe to my channel. Share this video with friends if you think that it might help them out, if they've got questions about detox and fertility. And if you want notifications for new videos, please feel free to join my email list. All of the information is in the description. Have a great day.